Good morning, everyone, or whatever time it is for you. Welcome to episode 108. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Sophia. Today, we are talking about your first 20 minutes of the day.
Most people wake up and immediately check their phones in their native language. They flood their brains with logic, news, and stress.
And then 2 hours later, they try to jump into an English meeting and wonder why their brain feels stuck.
That's because you allowed your analytical brain to wake up first. In the first 10 minutes of the day, your brain is in a semi-conscious state called the hypnopompic state. Your logic is low, but your neuroplasticity is incredibly high.
This is the golden window. If you wait until you are fully awake and logical, your brain will start translating. It will start analyzing grammar. It will become its own worst enemy.
We want to hijack this state. We want to bypass the translation barrier before your logic kicks in.
We're shifting the perspective. English isn't an academic subject you study at 2 p.m. English is a physical motor skill, like stretching or brushing your teeth, that you activate at 7 a.m.
By treating English as a physical reflex early in the morning, you reduce the cognitive load for the rest of the day. You are priming the engine before the car even leaves the driveway.
If you're ready to turn your morning coffee into a fluency power-up, hit that subscribe button. Let's start waking up those vocal instruments. Lucas, when I wake up, my voice is deep, my jaw is tight, and I can barely speak my own language, let alone English. How do we fix that?
We start with rhythmic humming. Before you even say a word, you need to wake up the vocal cords for non-native phonemes.
Why humming?
Humming creates a low-impact vibration that warms up the laryngeal muscles. But we don't just hum any tune. We hum the English stress pattern.
I can feel that vibrating in my chest and my nose.
That's the American resonance. Most students have stiff speech in the morning because their jaw and tongue are physically cold. They haven't been moved in 8 hours.
We need physical warmth. I like to do jaw circles while the coffee is brewing.
Exactly. Move your jaw in wide circles. Stretch your tongue to your palate and then transition from pure sound to nonsense syllables.
Like baragaza.
Yes, baragaza, baragaza. These syllables don't mean anything, so your brain can't translate them. You are purely focusing on the muscles.
It's like a runner stretching their hamstrings. You are priming the tongue for the specific flaps and clicks of American stress patterns.
If you do this for just 3 minutes, you'll find that when you finally do speak English, the words feel slippery and easy rather than sticky and hard.
Now that the muscles are warm, we need to feed them the right fuel.
And that fuel is not words, it's lexical chunks.
We've talked about this before, but in the morning, it's even more critical. You should have a list of 5 high-frequency collocations stuck to your bathroom mirror.
Not book, table, chair. I'm talking about nerve memory clusters. I was just about to. As far as I know, I'll look into it.
You repeat these 3-word clusters while you're doing a physical task, like washing your face.
Why during a physical task?
Because we want to build nerve memory. If you repeat, "I'll look into it," while you are literally looking into the mirror, your brain creates a multisensory anchor.
You repeat it until it becomes an unconscious physical reflex. You aren't choosing the words. Your mouth is just executing the pattern.
We use rhythmic pacing here. Tap the side of the sink. "I'll look into it. I'll look into it."
This internalizes the bounce of native prosody. You are teaching your body that English isn't a flat line. It's a rhythmic wave.
By the time you finish your morning routine, you should have fired these 5 chunks at least 50 times each. That's 250 reps of perfect American rhythm before you've even had breakfast. Now let's talk about habit stacking. Lucas, you're the expert on this.
Habit stacking is the science of tying a new habit, English, to an existing physical movement, making coffee.
So the rule is, when the coffee machine starts, the English starts.
Exactly. You create a fluency bubble. For those 20 minutes, no native language is allowed. You check your 2026 AI news feeds in English. You narrate your daily schedule in English.
Okay, the machine is heating up. I need to grab my mug. Where did I put the sugar?
This is crucial because it protects your linguistic momentum. If you start your day in English, your internal monologue stays in English.
If you start in your native language and try to switch to English at 9 a.m., you have to fight against the inertia of your brain.
But if you anchor it to your morning tasks, the inertia is already on your side. You are already in the zone before the stressors of the workday. The emails, the deadlines, the pressure begin.
It's about creating a frictionless transition. You aren't studying, you're just living your morning in a different soundscape. Okay, the coffee's done. I've done my chunks. I've done my humming. Now I have to go to work. How do I make sure this lasts?
You need to calibrate for stress. Solitary practice is easy. Social interaction is hard.
So before you leave the house, you do a simulated interaction.
Talk to your AI assistant or just talk to the wall. Imagine a high-pressure question from your boss and answer it using one of the chunks you practiced.
This tests your motor patterns. Can you still hit the rhythm when you're thinking about your to-do list?
If you anchor these habits early, you prevent fluency collapse. That's that feeling in the afternoon where your English suddenly becomes broken because you're tired.
If your English is a physical reflex, it doesn't matter if you're tired. Your muscles will still snap into the right position because they were calibrated 4 hours ago.
Here is your 3-step morning checklist. Vocal activation. 2 minutes of humming and nonsense syllables. Chunk repetition. 5 minutes of 5-word clusters while doing a task. The anchor. 10 minutes of AI news or self-narration in your fluency bubble.
That's 17 minutes total. Everyone has 17 minutes. We have reached the end of episode 108. I hope you feel like your morning is about to get a lot more rhythmic.
Remember, fluency is built in the dark hours of the morning when no one is watching. It's a private, physical victory.
We want to hear your morning anchors. What task are you going to tie your English to tomorrow? Is it brushing your teeth, making eggs, taking the dog for a walk? Leave a comment and let us know. We want to see your habit stacks.
And if you want the specific 2026 AI news feeds we recommend for morning shadowing, check the link in the description.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. It helps us keep the fluency bubble growing.
We'll see you in episode 109, where we'll dive into emotional prosody, how to sound angry, happy, or surprised in American English.
Until then, wake up your muscles, find your rhythm, and protect your bubble.
You've got this. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.